Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Chosen Architect, and have you ever wanted to just lock all your feelings in a tiny little box? Well, today is going to be the episode for you because we are going to be setting up some automation in some more compact machines. So, I hope you guys are ready. So today I was working on a little bit of a project over here in the Botania zone. I have some things set up. I ended up setting up an inner chest. I have my redstone link on the bottom here. Everything's ready to go, right? Botania-wise. But this is really clean, right? It's nice and clean. The setup is really clean. Nice in a compact machine. But I also wanted to get a wireless controller in here. I wanted to be able to access my wireless grid. Well, I can, but we are running out of space here. This middle section is not really doing exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted it to be nice and clean looking, but this is far from clean looking. And then the more network transmitters we have, the messier it's going to get. So I'm thinking about moving this entire system into a giant compact machine. We should be able to fit everything into this bad boy. Now, there is going to be a trick to doing this. And I need to make sure that I get all the components that I need out of here first, because we're going to be kind of out of the equation, because our controller is going to end up in here, and then the only thing that's going to be here is going to be a basically we're going to be accessing our crafting grid, and we're going to have a wireless receiver. So yeah, I need to produce the same thing that we had set up before. As you can see, it's going to require some netherite. That is a nice change here. This is going to make our like crafting setup, our wireless crafting stuff, so much better. Also, this room is probably going to be where we put a lot of our machines for auto crafting as well. So I think overall this is going to be a good setup here. So let's go ahead and keep this in mind. We need a controller. This controller, we could make another one, but I'm just going to use this controller for right now. So we have a controller, we give it power, and then we have a transmitter that is going to be hooked to our drives. And we have a transmitter that's going to be hooked to a receiver. And we should be able to set this up. Let's get a point. And let's just go ahead and try this. If anything, we can always place it back and we'll be good. But I do need this block. And then I'm going to need my drives. I think that's going to be the next thing. And then all we need to put here is the receiver. So we place the receiver in. And then I should be able to click the network card onto the receiver. Now that's locked into place. And then we get everything into here. So yeah, a little bit of a brain melt, but overall I think this is going to look really good once we get it fully done. So I'm going to need a transmitter. Actually, yeah, transmitter, because we're going to be sending the signal, because this is where this is where everything is going to be at. Just notice, oh, there's my controller. So where's my controller at? Let's go ahead and place our point down, place our controller. Controller is going to house everything, all of our information. Then we're going to use a transmitter. I guess after I put a drive here, I could go ahead and place a drive, then place the transmitter. And then inside the transmitter, put the card. And then the drive can, of course, hold all of its stuff. Okay, and that is sort of situated there. Let's see. And also, I need to make sure I chunk load this, because I have had some issues with it chunk loading. So I managed to move it down, and I can hook a cable in here. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't connecting to those bottom blocks, but now it is. So I just moved it down one, and now we have access to everything. Some wonky behavior here and there, but that's to be expected as these mods, of course, are being updated and stuff through the newer version of Minecraft. So I think it's about time for us to get into some Mekanism. Why not? We can go ahead and do a 3x ore processor and get some automation started. We only need a few machines in order to do that. I think 4 to be exact. An electrolytic separator, purification chamber, crusher, and enrichment chamber, all of which will get us 3x on our ore processing, which is not super hard to do. Now moving up to 4x on our ore processing, that's when things start to get a little bit more complicated. You're gonna need brine, you're gonna need a whole bunch of other stuff. And you're going to start dealing with these shards. And to get these shards in the first place, you need the hydrogen chloride, which requires a chemical infuser. You're going to need hydrogen, which isn't hard to get, but the chlorine, however, requires sodium and chlorite. These two together produce the, or sorry, you need brine and I believe sodium, which gets turned into chlorite, because that's how you get, or chlorine, sorry, not chlorite, chlorine. Yeah, and you need brine, and brine comes from a rather large setup from Mekanism. It's not super crazy large, but it is big enough. I think it's a 5x5 multi-block structure. That does kind of generate its own brine off of water, based off of solar panels and stuff, but it's not super hard to do, but it does, like I said, require a bit of space. We'll probably worry about that later, but right now, the 3 times I think is going to be good enough. However, we do need these machines. So these are going to be something that are completely separate, but are a must-have to get into Mekanism. So let me grab a few of these. I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of them because later on we're going to need them anyways. So might as well just take them, hook them up to a point, and just get them going. So just a single point should work. We are going to need iron, redstone, osmium. So let's go ahead and grab some of that. Probably need to get some osmium process as well since we're getting into this mod. I'll just throw that in here for right now. Just enough to kind of get it going, because this is our 2x ore processor, which is like something that was early game for us. Us moving into 3x is going to be a lot better. And this is all going to be set up, by the way, inside here. So, and it's going to be part of our auto ore processing system, which if you notice, I have an auto compressor. This auto compressor is really nice because it actually holds 12 of the ore, and we actually can pack 12 of the ore because we do have 12 to be exact. So if you take a look over here, I noticed this. We have exactly 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, because I don't want to mess with these. This is all the modium, and those types of things, right? I should have another one over here. I'm not seeing unobtainium. Oh, it's up there. So yeah, unobtainium, all the modium, and vibranium. So all of those are ones that I want to leave as they are. I don't really want to bother with those. So those are something that are so slow that we can just do it by hand. But yeah, this right here, we're gonna utilize this thing, and also with this. So let's go ahead and place these down. This is like super easy to set up. There we go. We just give it a little bit of power and give it some redstone. So osmium in redstone make its own thing, and then we're gonna need some other redstone for the iron. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 sets of iron here because this is probably one of the most used materials. So these are gonna compress up. This is gonna give us a basic control circuit, not used as much, I think, as the infused alloy. So the infused alloy you're probably gonna want more of, and I went ahead and just made a few of these machines just because. I think we can go ahead and make, let's see, speed upgrades. Do we have the materials? I think we might. No, we don't. Oh yeah, that's right, because it uses infused alloy to make the speed upgrades. And then osmium dust. Actually, let's see, osmium. We don't have any dust laying around, but I can go ahead and cancel this. Say auto input false. Now it's not going to auto input. It's just going to build up in here, and we can go ahead and use that. Or it's going to build up in here. We can go ahead and just use that to make these. Look at this. We should be able to make some speed upgrades like right away. And that will definitely get this process flowing a lot faster. Also with speed upgrades, you're probably going to want some power upgrades as well. So with these speed upgrades, let's also get some energy upgrades for Mekanism. Also, I know I'm searching this way, but it is a little bit easier if you just search at mech and then search energy. We should have some gold dust for this. So there's one. And then these upgrades, of course, are going to get thrown in here. Speed upgrades, and then also the energy upgrades as well. And it's going to help it a little bit. Yeah, as you can see. I don't think this shouldn't be dying of power here. Kind of interesting that it's bouncing like that, even though it shouldn't. Let's disable the limits. Well, that shouldn't be messing with anything either. It's kind of weird that it's bouncing like that. So I think I have all the machines I'm going to need ready to go. The electrolytic separator, the purification chamber, the crusher, and the enrichment chamber. Also a sink. And also an auto compressor. Yeah, we're going to need all of those things for this. You know what? I should have thought this through a little bit more and had maybe raised it up a little bit so I can put my cables underground. You know what? Let me fix this. I can fix this. This needs to go up one. So now that it's all better and we can actually get to work on this. I love how I completely didn't bring an axe. That's okay. We'll make it through this. I need to basically filter out certain items. All right, let's go ahead and we'll route our cable down below and get that hooked in. That should be able to connect here and here. And then what I need to do is I need to connect an elite exporter, which is it's from the add-on, which allows us to export a bunch of items. So we should be able to export every single type of, let's see, ore piece, right? Ore piece. Yes, we need to take all 12 of these and basically tell it, hey, you gotta be exported into this. All right, let's see. I want to make sure I don't mess this up. Oh man, I gotta grab every single one of these out of here. Okay, so at this point, I should have every single one ready to go. So all I have to do is hand place each one of these in. And this is basically defining and saying, hey, take this out of the inventory and make sure to keep this full. So that is exactly what I'm doing here. Now, this should be filling up with all of those types. This, however, does need some power. I didn't even think about that. You know what? I should pull this back one. Because I kind of want these in a line. So I guess, you know what? We'll probably have power running down one side anyways and running up through our machines. I don't have a problem with that. I do need a point to kind of jumpstart our power. There we go. That should be giving power to this. And as you can see, all the ore chunks are going to get processed like that. Perfect. I think I'm going to need a logistical pipe as well. I didn't know if I wanted to like keep with Mekanism and like do logistical pipes or not. I think logistical pipes should work. And I'm thinking, do I need a buffer for this? Or do I want to automatically have this pulled back into our system? You know what? I think I just want it to automatically transfer into this. Okay, so let's get the Mekanism part set up. So with the electrolytic separator, we should be able to take that and send it here. And the more I look at this, the more I'm like, do I really want to have this on the wall like this? There's got to be a better way to do this. So I'm thinking about trying some of these universal pipes. I don't know exactly how they're going to work, but it might allow us to set this up. Now, it does have support for Mekanism, so there's a potential for this to actually work and work really well. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to have the electrolytic separator here. Let's see. I want my output to be the enrichment chamber. This is where I want all of our items to eventually go. Let's see. Purification chamber is the first one in the line. Then the crusher. These should be able to all send items to each other. This, however, is going to need a sink that is going to be next to it. But I might be able to have the sink like right next to it in order for this to work, because I can just hook up the pipe to this and send the water to it. And then have this extract. I just hope that we can also have import and export on the same thing. I don't know. Actually, this just needs power and such. I don't know how the universal pipe actually functions. I mean, we can try it and see what this does. So if I hook up power, I have to set this, right, to extract on the power. Now, does this give me options? Okay. Add, remove. I guess that's for the filters. So that should be sending power to this, which it's not. Why is it not sent? Why is there no power being sent here? That's interesting. Okay, I think I know why. It's because the bottom of it needs to have power as an input. Gas, energy. Energy config. Input can be everywhere. Huh. Wow, I actually don't know. I think I'm going to go back to the way I had it set up before. This is See, this is why I miss Ender.io so much, because I miss the cables. I miss being able to have really nice configurable cables. Okay, so I have all of the stuff now back in here producing chunks, and I know this is probably going to give this whole setup a little bit of a hard time. I'm going to need to pull the items and go directly into here, or into the purification chamber. So to do that, I'm going to use a logistical transport pipe to do that. And then for that, you need a configurator. So we'll go ahead and have that set to pull. Now, the only other problem is this on the bottom needs to be set as an input. So that's now an input. So items should start to go in here. And now this part is going to be a little bit more complicated because we have to configure the sides. So the side on the energy, or sides on the item, needs to be an output. Everything else can be off except for the bottom. You can hold shift to do this. I think this was set to energy. It's weird that you can set that even though energy should be on every side. But now that's set to output. And then we also want the output to be set to auto eject on. That should allow the input to be working, and then the output here is on the proper side. Turn that to auto eject. That should send it over to the enrichment chamber, and that should be our item. Now, our final output of the material. Now you can see these are all pretty slow. They're all going to be fairly slow. And then we also need to make sure the electrolytic separator can keep up. We need to get our water moved over, which is going to be our piping. And we could do that by just simply sending this over like such. There we go. And that should be able to send our fluid just like that. Hopefully that is set. Yes, that did fill. Now, our output. I'm noticing... Why did that change to lead? Okay. Maybe I'm missing a machine. Oh, we need a smelt now. So we can go ahead and make an energized smelter. And I might... Yeah, that would actually work. Energized smelter. Now, this should be the last block we need. We can hook that back here. Make sure this machine is also set to auto eject on. And then our resulting output should be here. And this should be like an automatic setup. We need an importer to be able to pull the items from it over here. So, wow. After all of that, we kind of have something set up. It may be a bit more complicated than something you might have set up, but hey, you know what? I'm not always here to make stuff super, super easy. So all I got to do is route this over. And our cables are going to be kind of hidden. I could have gone with another mod. I just find that the refined storage, or not refined storage. Let's see, did that actually connect? Yes, it did. This mod right here. Let's see, XNet. I find that XNet can be kind of confusing to go along with, but I definitely want to get an XNet set up eventually. And I need to see if XNet will work with this, because if it does, then we can just route our power and everything much differently. And get this nice and compact. Of course, we're not going to see this, but I would like this to look a little bit nicer. Now, of course, on this last block, we do need to make sure that the output is on the bottom and auto eject is on, so that way it can pull the item out. And of course, this is probably going to build up, and I don't know if this automatically just starts throwing items out or not. And also, this is seeming to have a problem. It's not generating... Okay, this should be set to dumping excess. And then now the oxygen should start to build up. That was another issue. So I went ahead and made, I believe, enough upgrades to get us this setup upgraded a little bit more. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 machines that all need to have upgrades. So I'm going to hit them all with the speed upgrades at first, and then we'll hit them with the energy upgrades, because you definitely don't want to let these run too long. I don't think our cable can actually support the power need for all of that. Yeah, it's going to probably stop working because of the power drain and power consumption needed. We might have to upgrade the cable anyways to support even this speed. Let's see. That is full. That is full. It's waiting for the next process. to dump the osmium. I'm hoping we can get this fast enough to go through all this because we might need a buffer or something. Now, another thing we could definitely do is upgrade these all to factories. I totally forgot about doing that. I don't know if it's going to reset the settings or not, but all you got to do to make them a factory is do this. And the default factory on this is 3 more slots. So that would go at least 3 times faster. So let's try that. I'm hoping that the configuration on them are all set even after doing that. Also, are upgrades in here? Yes. Okay, so it does retain that, which is good. That'd have been kind of unfortunate to upgrade them and then like lose out on all of our upgrades we just put in them. Let's check. So the output is not the same. Okay, so yeah, they do need to be set back up. At least as far as configs go. Make sure the auto input's on. Same with this. Just make sure all the auto is turned on. And that would, I mean, I guess that'll help the process go a little bit quicker. Yeah, that definitely goes a little bit faster now. As far as like being able to do multiple things at once. Interesting. This needs to be set to bottom to input. There we go. Now we're getting different things. By the way, if the sound becomes really annoying to you, you can always go into music and sound, turn the blocks down, and there's also muffler upgrades that you can put inside these machines. Well, like I said, we're not going to probably be in this room very much, other than like setting up other automation stuff involving refined storage, because we're kind of cleaning up some things as we go on. Well, guys, we got quite a bit done, so I'm super stoked for the next episode. I hope you guys stick around, of course, throughout these episodes. Hope you're enjoying it. If you are, of course, let me know down in the comments below. I'd really appreciate to hear some feedback. And maybe you're interested in seeing something very specific. Let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see. Today, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, and that is going to go to Shady Snare. Thank you so much, Shady Snare. You know what? I used to play snare drum back in the old high school days, you know? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a huge thumbs up. We're getting really close to 500,000 subscribers, which just blows my mind. Yeah, it just blows my mind. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.